Right, we're back. Joga Bonito has returned at long last. It's been a couple of weeks, and we've been away. We've not had the normal service, but we are resuming normal service, and we've got one of our favourite co-hosts back. Aaron, how you doing?
I'm the bad mate. Thank you very much for inviting me into Casa del Callum today. We're in a different location to my last appearance. Doing a whistle-stop tour of the lower leagues of Scotland. It appears at this point.
It does feel like that, yeah. So basically, for people that are listening to this is a bit more of a casual setup on the sofa today. You know, I could give some deep meaning as to, you know, we're trying to do some sort of casual, laid back sort of style to the podcast, a bit like a chat TV show or something like that. No, it's just because we had nowhere else to shoot it. So, apart from my sofa, and I don't have a dining room table, so
it's a perfectly good sofa if you're asking me. Very, very comfortable, very plush.
Yeah, so we're here today on the casting couch to talk.
Whoa! I'll stop you right there.
Okay, right. All things Scottish football. Fraser's away. Fraser's living the good life in Croatia at the minute.
I know where I'd rather be.
Styling.
Yeah.
And Luke's a busy bee as ever. He's working away somewhere, keeping media going in Scotland. That's Luke's job. So
you've no Fraser, you've no Luke. You've went right. Let's get the worst possible guy to fill in.
We're scraping the barrel. No, I'm kidding. Of course we're not. So of course we'll have a look.
We'll have a look.
We've got you back on again. So buzzing for that. There's going to be a bit of Hearts chat to come up. A bit of Edinburgh City chat to come up.
Can't possibly tell you what makes you think that.
But obviously, so no normal episode the last couple of weeks. And that's because I've been away in Oslo.
How was Oslo, might I ask?
That's a great question. Oslo was absolutely fantastic. Me and Fraser went out on a bit of a whim. We did our episode a couple of weeks ago. If you've not seen it, we spoke about all things to do with the Homeless World Cup, where we met some of the players, and we met Matt from the Homeless World Cup. And as soon as I say he's from the Homeless World Cup, it's like he does PR for them basically. But we came away from that chat, and me and Fraser looked at each other and said, you know what? Let's just book these flights. Let's go. And we went out on a bit of a whim and had the best time ever. So came back with sort of faded off like a mild suntan, which is rare for me because I've never tanned before.
Clearly.
It's usually just pure burn. But lovely. 20 degrees, sitting down watching football all day. Aaron, I'll tell you, what more could you possibly want?
And you say it was a pretty good standard as well, weren't you? Off camera.
I was telling you this because genuinely when me and Fraser walked in and watched the first game, we were just like hooked because we saw other people. That Mel Young, actually, coincidentally, who is the founder of the competition, so he's quite a big deal around there. He's a big Hibs fan. So
you never told me that.
That's an important detail. He's a Hibs season ticket holder, but he founded the Homeless World Cup. And I think in previous years when he's been there, he's so busy running around doing jobs here and there. And this year we did see him, and he was just sat down a few rows in front of us, just sat there watching games all day long. And I can't blame him because the quality was phenomenal. Watching these ballers from Mexico, little step over shimmies, four-a-side football. It was rapid. Like some of the games early on in the competition were a bit of a whitewash. There were guys that were there, more casual teams, but some of the players there, I was telling you,
a few casual teams, a few casualties as well.
Yeah, there was one of the England players to try a rainbow flick, and their game against Chile ended up kicking off as you'd expect it to. I suppose it's a
fiery bunch of Chileans.
They are, yeah, and they had their fans in the crowd. I got to join in with one of my all-time World Cup chant. I don't know if you've seen Chile in the World Cup before, but they always do that. Like it goes like chi 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 le le le, like Viva Chile. I join in on the telly. I was sat there with the Chilean fans joining in.
And let's not forget your recreation of the Shabalala celebration. Or was that Fraser that was in on that action?
Yeah. Us and the South African players were teaching us. So we were joining in with all these fans from all around the world, different continents, singing in the crowd. It was honestly magical. Felt a bit like, do you know that meme where you've got like I can't remember what countries it's playing. I think it's the AFCON, and you've got like there's just one white guy stood there and he's dancing. That was me and Fraser.
I know exactly what
you know the meme, yeah. That was me and Fraser stood at the back singing Molo.
That's got to be a Photoshop job for the podcast thumbnail. You've got to stick Fraser's head on that photo.
That was basically us, but everyone we met was so inviting, and the competition was brilliant. We got we got too much content from it. Actually, I came back trying to edit all this. It's been a bit.
Is there still any unreleased footage?
There's a lot of unreleased footage coming out. So this podcast will hopefully be out. I'd love to say Friday, might be a bit tight. Probably Saturday morning. Hopefully the night before, people will be watching this. We're not going to touch on it too much because of the release of this. Scotland playing Denmark, of course.
Indeed.
So fingers crossed if you've seen this already. Hopefully Scotland have won. If you're watching this after a pumping, then disregard all this.
Yeah, just ignore us entirely, please.
We've got 2 clips to come that we got from the Ulleval Stadium as well, which is really exciting. So we got the train out there. And we basically just, this is behind the scenes, people get to see these clips. We basically just walked in. There was one guy that looked, quite grumpy to be doing his day or what, but he was very friendly with us, I suppose. A younger guy, and I don't know what his job was. He had a Norway tracksuit on, and we're like, "Can we go look at the stadium?" And he was like,
Yeah.
"Sure." So we just walked in. We filmed a TikTok challenge we've done. And then we've got another one which was like, name the. This thing has happened 7 times. I'm not going to ruin it for you, so you can join in when you do it. But this is like on the Ullaval pitch, and it was very much inspired by obviously Lyndon Dykes and Kenny McLean's last.
So you got on the pitch to film this?
Yes.
Really?
So we went on the grass, but we're like trackside.
Ah, okay.
So we filmed it there. We didn't want to like take the mic completely.
Yeah.
Because we got so close, and the guy came up and like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, I said this to Fraser when you were speaking to random people to sound more inviting. We're TikTokers. We're not doing a podcast. I just think randomly, you're
because that makes it so much better.
just randomly when you're like, oh, they're just doing a TikTok. It doesn't matter. So we did that. And then there's another challenge which will come out, which I'm really excited about, where we saw if Fraser could run around the Ullaval Stadium, because Fraser's a runner. Of course, he's a very good runner. But this was a challenge even for him. We'll see if he could run around the length of this stadium quicker than the time between Lyndon Dykes and Kenny McLean's goals. So stay tuned.
I'll be watching that with great interest. As a fellow runner myself, I can appreciate a good challenge.
Okay, so that was 104 seconds or 124 seconds. Can't remember, but it was quite quick. So this is a good challenge, though. So we got tons of content. I need to edit all that. There's more stuff from the Homeless World Cup. Team Scotland, shout out to all them for being brilliant. 2 interviews went out this week as well, so check that out if you haven't as well. Even my mum was watching it. She messaged me. She doesn't watch the podcast stuff usually. I think when we're waffling away about League One football, she's probably zoned out. But Homeless World Cup, she was
glued
interested.
to our screen. That's just so disappointing.
I know, it's a shame, but Mum, if you're watching, thanks for subscribing. You know.
Hello,
and,
Callum's mum. See
So-
you very soon.
We've got a lot to come today. We're going to be talking about the transfer window, rounding up. Deadline day, always a day you look out for.
Absolutely.
Not a huge amount happened this year.
I mean,
but
it's never been the same since that photo of Sam Allardyce staring at
yes,
a certain presenter.
he was. Yeah,
Yeah, he was having a look.
There was some peak stuff on Sky Sports back in the day, wasn't there? You know.
I mean, Odin Wingy try to force that move.
Oh, he's like leaning out his car window, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Chatting. What was it? Dildos in the ears and all that.
Yeah.
That was sort of the thing for a
I
while.
mean, when Ozil got announced at Arsenal and the reporters stood outside the Emirates, so the training ground, and he officially confirmed his move, and all the crowd just jump up.
I know, yeah. Long have
Mental.
gone of the days where a transfer announcement looks a bit like a Stormzy music video, you know, Fire in the Park, something like that.
I find the booth outside like Carrington.
Mesut Ozil signs for Arsenal. Oh, we need to bring that back, but maybe bring it back for lower league football. You know.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if this man ever comes back to Edinburgh City, I want like a party at Meadowbank.
Everyone's just standing around.
All 5 of us.
You announce it, I'll be there. I'll join in.
You'll be front row with a bag of popcorn.
You've got me for that. So we're going to look at some of the winners of the transfer window. We've selected 4 clubs, so we'll get into that in a second. My last talking point for this introduction, though, because we'll touch on probably Connor Young in a bit, actually, because he'll come up naturally, so we don't touch on the show, is I got these new boots, and I want you to take a look at these. So for people that are listening, think about the brightest yellow thing you've ever seen in your life, and then make it more yellow.
Oh, these are like just bananas with laces, mate.
Bananas with laces.
They are bold, I'll give you that.
So they're a pair of Nike Mercurial boots with a very yellow design. They've got the sock on it and an orange sort of second colour for the tick and the Nike wording on the side. And I bought these because I got a hole in my other football boots that I really liked. They were also Mercurials. So I was like, right, I want to get a good pair of football boots. A good pair of football boots are pretty expensive these days. You're paying 250 quid for the proper good ones.
That's mental.
So I didn't want that. So I'm like, right, I'm going to save up and buy something decent at some point. But I went to the Nike outlet in Tillicoochtree. Shout out to Tillicoochtree, of course.
What a place.
They had them, and I was just, I'll see if they've got something. £25 for them. So I was like, you know what, I'll do it. Put them on. Go to play sevens on Monday. I'm usually alright. Sevens get like a goal every other week. Our game's quite competitive, close. Bagged the hat trick wearing these.
Someone stop him.
I've actually got a description of my performance from one of my friends if you want to hear it.
Go on then, might as well. Well, you were going to tell me anyway. The phone is out. You're going to be getting a rundown anyway.
So I posted a picture of these in my story and said, on debut, scored a hat trick. Do I keep them around now because of it? A friend of the podcast, you know well, Callum McKean.
What a guy.
Responds, well, I don't know about that. He responds and says, hat trick, no chance. You're lying. Please, I'm not lying. So I sent it to one of my friends who was also playing. His response was, hi, Callum. This is to Callum McKean, not me. Just to clarify, the performance that Mr. Callum Ratcher had last night, The best goal of the night was absolutely unbelievable. An absolute pleasure to watch. A superb volley from the right-hand side into the top right corner. I could only stand and watch as I tried to mark him and stop the shot. All 3 goals from... He's a Celtic fan. All 3 goals from the night were Gary Hooper-esque. Couldn't be more happy to clear up any confusion or disbelief. If you need more clarification, please reach out. Thank you, Fraz. So, yeah, that was my performance on Monday. A hat-trick that people didn't believe. I didn't believe, but it happened, so...
Fair play to you. Where's the contract over from Wraith? That's all I'm going to say.
I know. I've been there at training doing keep you up. He's in front of Barry Robson. He's never been interested though, unfortunately. So
keep it going. Never know where it can lead you.
So are you a superstitious man?
Very much so, yes.
So do you think the boots need to stick around for a bit? I'm not. By the way, I'm not a hat-trick goal scorer. I've never scored a volley before. I took this one on the chest, hit it across the keeper, and I was like, by the way, someone in these boots. I don't know where it came from.
He's just trying to be Jack Duncan.
I am. I basically was for the day. So I don't know where it came from. I think the yellow boots got to stick around for a bit.
I would say so, yes. I mean, obviously they're the exact same boots as your previous one, just a different colour. So I can understand why you've taken to them so quickly, because it's the same ones, just not with a massive hole in them. But
yeah,
the colour, I get why you'd be superstitious about changing that. Obviously, it's a slight change to the routine or whatever, but if you're banging a hat trick, have to be a lucky boots, mate. I reckon you keep them around.
Best £25 I've ever spent. What are you spending for a pair of Sondicos these days? Anyway, probably 30 quid as well. So
exactly.
Something as well.
Sports Direct sale, it was a joke.
I know. Telekucheri. Shout out to the Nike factory shop in Telekucheri, which is a great way to finish off this intro. So, Aaron, what's up next?
Roll it.
You're a long way from home. This is Brazil.
James McFadden scores for Scotland. The afternoon belongs to Lewis Vaughan. Make it 3. It's 3-0. An absolute classic from Stephen Kingsley. Jubilated Paul McHugh. It had to be him.
So, Callum, what do you rate your cup of your second one of the afternoon?
Not as good as the first one, but, you know, it's...
I don't know. I always feel the second one is better than the first, because the first one, you're getting yourself kind of back in the game. You're waking yourself up. The second one, doing a little bit of a... You feel a bit more awake, a bit more alert, but the second one... You're like, okay, now it's really starting to like get you going, and you feel a lot more ready to go and do whatever you're doing.
Buzzed.
Yeah, I'd say so. I wouldn't say buzzed, possibly because I've got the caffeine tolerance of a small rhinoceros at this point. But I don't know. I just like
rhinoceros.
Do you get small rhinos? I don't know. A baby one?
Potentially. I mean, I don't know how much caffeine a rhino can consume, but that's a brilliant way to open up the segment.
There's only one way to find out. Take him at Starbucks.
Right, next week's episode. Stay tuned. Stay subscribed for that. That's not going to get people following us. I don't know what will. Yeah, the only lower league Scottish football podcast you'll ever see. But they take a rhino to Starbucks, I guess.
I know. We'll have to get him in the back of the car. That'll be a challenge. Maybe you can be able to fit me in that.
Possibly, yeah. We can do. Anyway, I didn't think this would be how we'd open up this next segment. I'm going to leave that all in. Your Aaron Fraser's thoughts on tea. People that were wondering.
Magnificent beverage.
It is a great drink. It really does get us through, and a lovely way to open up, get you a bit of energy for this, because you might be a bit short for our first club here then. So we've gone through the 4 divisions, and we've maybe not gone for the biggest transfers for all of them, but we've gone for 4 clubs we want to highlight that have probably been winners in the transfer window. And can you guess who we've done for the Scottish Premiership? Well, I'll say that to the viewers. Can they guess who we've gone for? Do you want to reveal it?
My beloved Heart of Midlothian.
Heart of Midlothian. And you know what? I'd push for this as well. I think Hibs have had a good window as well. I think it's fair to say objectively, but both clubs have gone quite big in this window. Hearts, where do we start? Shattering the transfer record, perhaps.
Indeed, yes. Brazilian midfielder Agu has signed on at Tynecastle. I wasn't at the Livingston game as I was working for this slot, but I watched the highlights and I had a very good testimony from my old man who was at the game at Almonvale, and he just said he's immediately just a cut above everybody else we have in midfield. He just looks like an absolute player. Even in his brief cameo, Braga did basically miss an open goal from this, but the ball gets played through to Agu and he gets kind of brought down in the box. Not a foul, clean challenge, but even in falling over, he manages to flawlessly shift the ball into Braga's path. I don't know how intentional it might have been, but you make your own luck, I think, by being a player of that quality, and feel free to shoot me down for the most ridiculous assessment ever of a footballer's debut, but seeing that, I'm like, I've just got a feeling that things he tries are just going to come off.
Right. I mean, that does help. That's helping football.
Yeah, exactly. But I've just got a feeling that Hearts' previous transfer record was 850k for the infamous Bosnian bullet back in 2006. You'll have to put his name up on the screen. It's Miroslav Veslija, I think you pronounce it that way. And he played a handful of games, was always injured, not a successful transfer. Hearts don't spend big money on transfers, never have. So the fact that our previous transfer record that was set in 06 was smashed and almost doubled.
Yeah.
It was £1.7 million, like it was €2 million, give or take. I don't know how they work it out, but either way, it's been blown out the water for a midfielder of that quality.
So you're someone that has a lot of links to Hearts in many ways as being a fan. You've done media, obviously, with the club and your own media too, of course. So you're closely involved in everything going on. You know, you've got a close perspective on it. Tony Bloom, so you were along, I believe, at his evening where he spoke to the fans. And do you think a lot of it is his influence at the club and things pushing in the right direction?
Definitely. I mean, it's clear to see the wonders he's worked at Brighton, and the fact that every football team, because there's several teams that use Jamestown to varying levels, given that there's some teams in like English. I mean, Grimsby Town actually used Jamestown. They beat Man United a couple of weeks ago. So
I don't know how Jose Kabir came up in their analytics
that's
system.
true.
But,
maybe there was a slight bug, bug in the system there. But
he scored his penalty. Maybe both of them actually.
In all seriousness, though, basically every single football club that Jamestown touches turns to gold eventually.
Yeah.
On whatever level that it looks like for them. But I just think that Hearts are going to fly under this. I mean, Celtic and Rangers have both made pretty underwhelming starts by Rangers especially to their season. Obviously Celtic are a bit better domestically, but Rangers, I don't think the vegan is the man for the job, it has to be said. I saw a great clip on the LD socials, shout out Roddy Barraclough, what a guy, interviewing Rangers fans at the Ibrox, and the first man said, I'm going to bounce 10 buggers off Russell Martin's head if things keep going the way they go. And I think that kind of just sums up the absolute car crash that's going on at Ibrox just now.
Well, we won't speak too much on it because I think people have probably had their ears spoke off about Russell Martin and Celtic Rangers, but we've been quite I think we're quite optimistic about it on the podcast. Like Russell Martin as a manager, like having a clear philosophy, and obviously I think there's just things going on at Rangers which are a mile off it all round, and anyone in charge wouldn't be getting results. Obviously, the way that the game went against Bruges makes it a lot worse. The way it happened.
It's a harrowing defeat, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but I don't think either way anyone was coming in. There's just a difference in golf in the two squads. You see how Bruges have built their squad together, fantastic quality in there, and Rangers just looked a mile off it. So
all at sea. I mean, I know all too well what it's like to go to the Jan Breidel Stadion and come away empty-handed.
Of course, yeah. At least,
and that was against Cercle Bruges, not even the real Bruges, and we still got a tanking.
Yeah, so obviously plenty to sort out there, but Tony Bloom's came in, and great to see the transfer record smashed. Looks a bit. Someone said to me it looks a bit like a witch's husband. You care to comment on that? I can't unsee it now. No comment.
Nothing to say on the matter. I mean, I'm not really bothered as long as we're getting results.
No, I like him. I like how he speaks as well. And I watched his interview with Sky Sports. It was bold, but
it's bold, but
go for it. Why not?
There's no reason. There's no evidence to suggest that it'll not eventually come to fruition.
Yeah.
I mean, he took Brighton from the brink of oblivion to they're selling guys for hundreds of millions of pounds, and they just keep on unearthing these gems, and that's all because of Jamestown. And the sooner people clock onto the fact that is what's going to happen, the better. I
like the ambition with this. Sounds good. So, looking through the rest of the signings in there, certainly a feeling that Hearts got their business done nice and early, which I don't know, the European football factor plays into that, just gave them a bit more time to sort of just get everyone in and knew what the budget was going to be rather than waiting for qualifiers. So I won't go through the full list, but Claudio Braga, someone that's made a big impact out of that list early on.
Yeah, he's become a real fan's favourite already. His signature celebration's gone down quite well.
Have you been partaking in the Sue?
I have indeed, yes. Shamelessly against Sunderland in a friendly. I was rather happy to shout that along with most of Tynecastle.
So I did watch on Sports Team when you obviously had that game, you're 3-0 down against Motherwell. He scores to make it 3-2. Still goes up and does the Sue. All his teammates getting back into
He's
position.
learned his lesson though. He did not do it against Livingston.
Okay.
It was straight back to the halfway line. So Del Boy's clearly had one.
Does he do it away from home?
Yeah.
Was he doing it before?
Yeah, he done it at Stirling Albion, just down the road. He done it against Hamilton at Broadwood. Done it against Dumbarton at Tynecastle. Like he scored in 3 League Cup games in a row and done it every single time against like joiners and plumbers. It's it's outstanding commitment to the bit, but
Yeah.
he runs his pan in every game. He works hard. He really gets what it means to represent the club. And if everything goes well, he'll not be around for long because he'll earn a bigger move elsewhere and we'll find the next hidden gem. But I do think that Braga has what it takes to be a real force in the league this season.
Yep, and then obviously as the window's gone on as well, it sort of started to look a bit like you probably need a bit more strength of right back. Didn't really arrive.
That's my one complaint because Christian Bokrovinc was a January pre-contract signing. Neil Critchley actually was the one that got him brought in, and by the time he arrived, Critchley was gone girl. But I just think with Bokrovinc's clearly a very able right back. He's a quality player. He was the captain at his previous club. He's a real leader by all accounts. That's the kind of player you want to bring in. But he was just coming back from a pretty serious injury, and he's injured. He's on the sidelines again. So Adam Forrester's our only real right back up. But Ocean McEntee, another summer signing who's looked pretty good. He's been kind of being a auxiliary right back in recent weeks, if you will. But I just think that we really need to get more competition in for Bokrovinc. Obviously, Adam Forrester's on a cooperation loan with St Johnstone. He actually came back briefly because we didn't want to let him stay there while we didn't have any cover at right back. And I would have thought we'd have prioritised bringing in another right back for the end of the window, and it's just not really happened.
He is yo-yoing between the two, isn't it? They should name the bit of road between Perth and Gorgie Adam Forrester Highway or something like that. He's going up and down there. But another area of weakness sort of as the window went on started to sort of look like goalkeepers well, and that was addressed. Yeah,
certainly. I mean, the transfer in of Schwallow came in out of the blue, but you look at a goalkeeper that's made over, I think it's 150, 200 Bundesliga appearances, a one-time £8 million signing, play for Schalke, Union Berlin. That's like career mode. That's when you go on free agents in career mode and just look for the most experienced guy you can find. Yeah. But I just think it's a signing, like, regardless of, I don't know how much football he's played recently, but if you can sign players of that calibre and attract players of that calibre, it's a real statement of intent.
But it's also just highlighting an area of potential weakness with Xander Clark not quite kicking on as you'd maybe want him to.
I've been banging the Xander Clark drum for a while because he was really good in that extended game, kind of period of the games that he got when Gordon had broke his leg. He was really good back then. Lost his number one spot to Gordon when he came back. Hasn't really had a crack in the whip since. Obviously, Gordon's had his injury issues for the last few while. Fulton's now out for a couple of months. So Clark's kind of stepped up to number one position and he's not looked totally convincing. I mean, I really like Xander Clark. He's been good for Hearts. He's been a very good servant, especially given the fact he's not had much in the way of game time. He knuckled down, he signed that new deal, but he's just not really convinced me.
Yeah, because if you get into October, November, December football and you're stuck there and you haven't got another backup option.
Exactly, and with Harry Stone, don't think he's had enough first team experience.
Didn't look convincing at Ayr United enough to make that step. Certainly not to make that step up, you know. But moving quickly though, that's the main point where they see a bit of an issue and very, very quickly moved to address it by bringing in.
It's a very important position, goalkeeper, as you'll also be aware. But I just think that attracting a player of that calibre is a real statement of intent and shows that we're not going to mess about and Jamestown can provide the goods when needed.
Yeah, definitely. And it's quite a long list of signings. So, as I said, I don't want to sit here and just read them all off. But certainly, sort of rebuilding the squad a little bit was kind of needed. Just freshen things up. And we haven't even touched on the manager. I don't think we need to say too much. But obviously, it seems like going in the right direction.
The vast majority of that squad have been... Obviously, they had the third place, fourth place finishes. But these are also a lot of the guys that dragged us into the bottom six last year. So
dragged.
I think, especially with the Jamestown approach coming in, you can't be too sentimental anymore with players. And I think part of that is you're going to have to shift a lot of the old guard out eventually. But we've got a massive squad now. I would have liked to have seen some more outs on deadline day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, guys like your Kenny Vargas he's not going to get a game. Loan move for him away to Spanish football fell through, so he'll be sitting picking up a wage till January at least.
It's good to see like Jan Danda get his move. Probably
I mean, I've got a lot of time for Jan Danda. He was a player I was really excited about when he came in. I don't think he got a fair run in his natural position.
I think Jan Danda needs to be loved in a team and feel like he's like a bit like the man in there and things
like
work
he was
around
at
him.
County,
And that's perfect for him. And being at Hearts and coming off for 20 minutes at left mid's probably not what he needs. So it was good to see him get that move to Dundee, even if it's not seen a huge amount from him just yet. I think that's probably. But it was good to see players like that just aren't going to play.
I think his quality will shine through eventually, especially in a team like Dundee. He can be the main kind of creative spark. And we unite with Simon Murray as well, his former partner at Ross County. I just think that Murray and Danda link up with reeks of gold, whatever team you put them in.
Do not need to remind me. Wake up in nightmares in the middle of the night thinking about Ross County Raith Rovers in the playoff finals. So
You
the two of them ripped us a new one in that second leg, and you just had to watch and be like, that's the difference. Team Premiership quality. Anyway, we don't think about that. We don't talk about that.
Of course not.
So, other good windows in the Premiership. We were going to maybe touch on 5 or 6 clubs, but as you can see from this Hearts chat, we are chatting away for some time here. So we probably do need to keep things moving. But Hibs have had a good window as well. I think you do have to say they've signed signings that make a lot of sense.
I mean, put it this way: not one Hibs fan was bored that they've not got Chiantis.
Yeah, I mean,
he's yesterday's man now.
They would have loved to get him back, I'm sure, but otherwise, the quality they've added, like just signings like Josh Mulligan are the kind of signings. If you're a team pushing up, a top 6 club, obviously, and looking to push into those European places, why not hoover up some of the best Scottish talent that there is?
That's the approach I think Hearts went for this time last year.
Yeah,
kind of sign the best from the rest, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The best players who were the only reason that the clubs they played for done well, and weaken the lesser teams in the league by taking their better players. Kind of what Celtic used to do, like with your Dundee United, like, oh, well, we'll just have Chief Shea and Mackay Stephen off you. And put them on our bench.
But certainly the age profile's looking quite good for Hibs, with obviously Kieran Bowie sort of having his a bit more of a breakout
Real
year
breakout.
Year.
I mean, you'd have seen him. Talk us through the young Bowie at Wraith Rovers, if you will.
I will be here for a long time if I do that, but obviously Kieran Bowie's a big Wraith fan. It's probably like Roy of the Rovers sort of things when you'd see him play. And me and my dad actually used to go along and watch a reserves team play on it was like a Tuesday night. You could get him for free if you're a season ticket holder.
Was it Starks?
Starks Park, yeah. And he was in there playing like 15, 16. But the size of him then, you're like, oh, he's ready. Like for League One football, you can chuck him in there and he's like a man. Went in there. His left foot was always brilliant. Whether he was playing on the wing a lot of the time as well when he was a bit younger, but he still had that size. Brilliant football player, a great attitude as well. And
genuinely, see if he's not Scotland's like one of Scotland's starting number 9s. There's issues, I think. I mean, obviously, he's a Hibs player, but I'll not beat her in the bush. I think Bowie's a fantastic footballer.
Yeah, phenomenal.
He should be playing regularly for Scotland.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean,
with the form he's in, like
there's good competition up there.
Exactly.
But and Lyndon Dykes does a lot for Scotland. This isn't a Scotland chat here, so Kieran Bowie definitely for the future, with especially the age profile of the other strikers that have been around the squad. I think one to really look out for.
Touching on Scotland strikers very briefly though, and still a sort of deadline day approach. Young, the Aberdeen Fletcher Boyd moving down south to play academy football for around £1 million. I think it just kind of highlights the issues that clubs up here face with holding on to the young talent, because Brexit's just meant that all the clubs down south are trying to hoover up our young talent because it's cheaper and more easy for them.
Yeah, certainly. I especially if we could do a deep dive into this anytime as well, but you're seeing a lot of guys sort of get to the age of 15, 16, like Hamilton Youth System, for example, getting plucked away.
When they had one, you mean?
Yeah, of course. So basically, like, obviously he's been in and around the first team squad as well, and Aston Villa's a huge club playing Champions League football, so hopefully it does work out for him. £1 million, so I mean, that's, as we mentioned,
for a 16-year-old that scored twice in the first team.
That's Hibs just broke their record transfer fee, and it was £1 million, and Hearts that would have broke their record transfer fee as well. I'd break Aberdeen's record transfer fee. So is that money coming in? And what?
I thought Clarkson cost them like £2 million.
No, he didn't know.
Really?
No,
my bad.
So. We might be coming on to this in a bit. But if that money meant they could bring in Kevin Nisbet, they probably do need him.
Another ex-Wraith Rovers man.
Another ex-Wraith man, yeah. So yeah, Aberdeen as well. We did think about making this a deadline day video. Aberdeen had quite a bad transfer window until deadline day, where it got a bit interesting. Kevin Nisbet coming in.
Got to say, the winger from Bologna, what is he doing at Pittodrie? Like, have you seen his highlights reel?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Sweden international, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was a particular goal. I think it was on the UEFA Conference League Twitter account when I was just scrolling through on deadline day, and he just scores this unbelievable goal, and I'm just sat there thinking, he's at Aberdeen. Like, what is he doing?
No offense.
Why?
To the people.
Why is he at Pittodrie? What is his game? Is he just gonna come here and just this league's my playground. In a bit, boys, banging 15 goals from anywhere. Looks a very good signing.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. And yeah, they've added quality at the end of that window. Stuart Armstrong coming on, still got his beautiful head of hair as well.
Still not forgiving him.
People
He
are never going to forgive him. I mean, we had this chat recently where we ranked some of the worst Scotland moments like of our lifetime. I don't know if you saw that short, but he was in the worst too. I think.
The worst too.
Hungary as well. He was.
I'd almost erased that from my memory, actually.
But anyway, a lot of love for Stuart Armstrong in general. I feel like he shouldn't get remembered for 2 moments. Other good windows. I was going to say Motherwell had a good window. We had our good friend of the pod, Gogsy, on here. Maybe Motherwell would have been in the chat instead, because I think they've had a really good, like quietly good window as well.
Lennon Miller's finally said goodbye to ML1.
Yeah, I think that needed to happen, and it's a good move, and wish him the best. And it maybe seems that Motherwell's almost in a way like better for it. I mean, they've not been winning games yet, but a bit more of just a complete team. Everyone's buying in. It's
They're
not
not
one
just
guy.
having to rely on Lennon Miller.
It's Lennon Miller, absolutely brilliant, and they've replaced him. While Reek and Charles Cook coming in, that's an exciting signing as well. So, plenty of teams have done some good business, but we've given it to Hearts. Aaron, to finish this off, if you need to rank, if you could grade this out of 10 for us, or you could give it, what would you rather do? We make the rules around here. No one tells us what to do. Would you rather give it a grade as a letter, like a B+, B-, an A, or do you want a rating out of 10?
I'll go for a grade, actually. I'll give Hearts a B+. I'd have gave them straight A's if they brought in a replacement right back.
Okay, so yeah, a lot of turnover in the squad, but happy with how it's looking.
Yeah, actually, I'd have liked, like I said earlier, I'd have liked a right back, and I'd have liked a bit more outs for the fringe players. But apart from that, I can't complain too much. I'm not paying their wages, so it doesn't bother me.
Well, I mean, in a roundabout way, I suppose you will. But isn't that right? Is it? Well, are you season ticket holder?
Yeah, I'm still a season ticket holder.
Season ticket holder.
Haven't been able to go to many games this season, but I've had one since I was 8, and that will not be changing.
Respect that. Right, that's enough Premiership chat. Should we move on to the lower leagues?
Let's.
Do you want to do this in order of the leagues?
Oh, go on then.
I'll go on then. Right, we're going to move on to the Championship. Okay, and there's a few good shouts in here as well. I think St Johnstone are probably the obvious one, as they look like favourites for the title. A lot of their business was done quite early on, so it's quite spoken about, you'd probably say.
I'd say so, yeah. It's almost like a who's who ex-Premiership select in there.
It's a bit, yeah.
Stevie Mallon, a player of his quality, should not be in the Scottish Championship. I know he's had his injury issues and whatnot, but stick him in the Championship's like a cheat code.
Yeah, he's fit and
he's
fine.
already been firing in those trademark free kicks that he's so well known for. Long rangers, he's just, on his day, just a very, very good football player, simple as that.
Yeah, well, it's a bit more of a who's who of Championship players as well, especially at the start of it, because they've obviously brought in like the likes of Jamie Gullen, Jack Baird, Morgan Boys as well, all from like Morton Rafe, some of the best talent in the Championship, Sam Stanton as well. And then as the window's gone on, I think it's got better and better though, like from being really solid signings to really, really good signings.
I'm surprised they kept the hold of Uche Piazza though, because he wanted to leave.
Yeah, he did, and I'm not entirely sure what his role is in that squad as well, because he hasn't been starting as well, from the start.
Just got a Uganda call up though.
Did he?
Yeah.
As well. Big Uche, what a player. But we're not going to touch on St Johnstone. It feels like there's been a lot of chat of them. What I'm instead going to do is I'm going to talk your ears off about the recruitment of Dunfermline.
Surprised?
Oh, well, if we take bias out of this around here, well, you don't, but I'll do my best.
Oi.
Never a bad word to say about Hibs, no. No comment. Right, Dunfermline, though. I think they've quietly had a really good transfer window. So I don't want to just sit here and completely talk your ear off about them all, but I've listed them
But
down.
you're going to do it anyway.
I'll do it anyway. 18 departures at Dunfermline this summer. It's quite a fair bit of business. Neil Lennon in charge, of course. You're a Neil Lennon fan? See, no comment.
I prefer not to speak.
That's
If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
So,
Big trouble.
That's, very wise words of a man that might be coming to Scotland at some point. Who knows? But Dunfermline. So we'll talk about the Fife derby before this. I know you saw the highlights of that game as well. They weren't very good, Dunfermline, I'll be honest. And it's funny coming out of that as a Ray fan, thinking we're definitely the better team in it without even doing a huge amount. Felt like we could have probably turned up a notch or two. Didn't need to. We're comfortably the better team. But at the same time, I would like to pose a question to a Raith Rovers fan out there. Would you rather have us...
A Wraith fan?
Yeah. Another Wraith fan.
Ah,
You know,
okay,
a
right.
hypothetical Wraith fan here,
Okay.
including myself.
The invisible Wraith fan that sat
Yes,
to my left.
yes. I don't know many of them, unfortunately. There's not too many of us around here, certainly in Stirling. But would you rather have our squad or would you rather have the Dunfermline squad? As in something you own. To be honest, I'd still take the Wraith squad, but it's probably like
I'd say for now Wraith, but Dunfermline has a lot more potential.
that's why it's interesting though, because we're an aging squad. You know, we're a team of older guys, I guess. You know, and it wouldn't make sense for us to have the transfer policy that Dunfermline, you know, and ended up having in this summer. But all their signings are really young. I think Carl Benedictus was like the only player over 25, 26 in that Fife derby. And you could see it. They were quite raw. You know, we did get at them as well. And Wraith are a clever pressing team as well and really played the game well. You know, knocking spectacles off faces.
I did feel very bad for young Mr. Todd in that. And solidarity, my fellow Specky comrade.
I know, yeah. You guys do need to look out for each other. But
So when we can look anywhere, you mean?
you said it, not me. But so their recruitment this summer, obviously quite a bit of money came into the club this year. James Board, not to be confused with James Bond, similar looking fellas, but
License to spend.
yes, effectively, and it did feel like they were going to want to make a statement signing in there, and I mean quite publicly it was out there that they were in for Dylan Easton as well, trying to take Wraith's best player, and Wraith said get out of here, and Dylan Easton signed his new contract. So
That social media announcement was genius.
I know.
Total genius.
Yeah, because I mean, I did know he was signing the new contract, obviously throughout from beforehand with my links to the club, and the amount of people that messaged me was like, when I saw that statement come in, my heart dropped.
Even the photo of him looking upset,
Yeah,
and the link being Easton Dunfermline, you're thinking surely not.
yeah. The
You just
message
click on it, it's
message
like,
went into a group chat earlier that day and said, "We got a picture of Dylan clapping the fans," and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be brilliant. This is gonna be unreal." Had nothing to do with me. I just saw it come out, and I was like, standing ovation. This is great stuff from Wraith. Always on a wind up on the social, aren't they? So
Love it.
love to see it. But so obviously stuck around, and they haven't really gone out and made that statement signing. But what they have done is bring in a lot of young players. And what I liked about Dunfermline was, we were chatting off camera briefly about this as well, where I was saying, I feel like if I was planning out a recruitment process, or I was looking at the future of a championship football club that's, you know, not the bigger clubs in the league, but still big clubs that should be looking to teeter on the provincial, sort of teetering on the Premiership. You've got Dunfermline, Partick Thistle, Ayr United, even Wraith fit into that as well. I'd look at the season and say, you know, it's going to be really difficult to compete with Ross County. It's going to be really difficult to compete with St Johnstone, certainly in the summer. So there's this pool of player you can sign. Ayr have got Kevin Holt, you know, Dom Thomas. Wraith have got Paul McMullen, for example, and these players, Tony Watt going to Partick Thistle. Maybe if you put them all together, you've got a championship winning team there. But they've gone off to different clubs. I feel that probably is a championship winning club. I feel like a Dundee United's league winning squad or something like that.
Yeah.
Just explained there. But I think having the budget to do all that could be quite difficult for a club, and maybe knock them back as well. And it's a big risk to take when there's two big teams in the league. So
The
Dunfermline,
very best any team outside of the big two are going to do is get into the playoffs anyway, and probably get scudded off the team that finishes, you know.
yeah, because realistically, if one of the clubs did find themselves in a title race with Ross County, and come January, Ross County just want to say, right, we'll pull the checkbook out. They have that.
Uncle Roy's millions.
Uncle Roy could whip it out realistically and do that, you know. And
Pause.
what?
Doesn't matter.
Lost me for a second there. Sorry. But I look at Dunfermline and think, you know what, they're not going to win the league this year. And what I like is no one's came out at the club and said we're going to win the league this year, because it feels like especially last season in the Championship, every club came out and said, you know what, yeah, we've got a chance. You know, when Reece McCabe's turning up and saying we're going to win the league and all that. You know,
All right, mate.
everyone's turning up and saying that. No one's saying that at Dunfermline. What they could do is possibly sneak into playoffs. They're not going to be in trouble at the other end, but the signings they've made all fit this profile really well. So sort of trying to run through them in a logical way. I'll do my best. So you got Shay Kearney, who's came in right wing back. I think he looks like their best right back as well. I don't think he started the Fife derby. He came on, and I don't know if anyone else would have seen this because it was just right up the touchline for me where I was filming the game pitch side. But he didn't. Josh Todd, the young centre back, had gone up front. Was it John Todd? I forget my name's mixed up. There's too many Todds at Dunfermline.
Exactly. It's
Young
it's
Todd,
too confusing.
He looks like a
The
phenomenal.
one without glasses.
Yes, he's a phenomenal footballer. By the way,
Was he not the one that scored the ridiculous long range goal at East End?
He looked really good against Wraith, just in terms of his technicality, and he's a player, clearly. He went up top. ball comes to shake in, he came on. Cliftonville on a multi-year contract as well. I think they spent a fee on him too, but he didn't spray the long ball up. And Neil Lennon unleashed on him for not playing the long ball. I was very much enjoying it from where I was pitch side. Probably no one else got to appreciate it as much as me, getting right by it.
Yeah, the front row seat to the meltdown.
He's at the centre back. He's gone up there. I can't repeat what he said. I'll get this podcast off there. But anyway, other than that, looks like a really good technical player as well. Then they've gone and obviously spent money to get Roy McLeod in, who was a player with a lot of promise at Dundee United and
always really highly rated, I thought, at Tannadice.
Yeah, and he was on the radar of Premier League football clubs, I should say, down south, and still really young. And he's gone into Dunfermline, and obviously they thought this is the way to spend our money here. Deadline date: Nadine Abdullahi, a centre back from Ghana, obviously household name.
That is a fantastic name. That's just brilliant stuff. These are the names we need in Scottish football. None of your boring Jimmy Smiths. We need proper, exciting names.
I know, it makes it quite difficult for me trying to pronounce these or even going through the Hearts list earlier on how to run a few past you, but doesn't make my life any easier. But all accounts, a talented centre-back as well, 21 years old, fits that profile, rather than just bringing in the same, job lot centre-backs. Yeah. Why not go for something different? He's been involved in the Ghana squad as well, not played for the national team or anything like that, but he's obviously on their radar, shows he's talented. Robbie Fraser, a phenomenal piece of business.
Best left back of the Championship. Hands down. Stealing
my lines off me here already, but 22 years old at Livy. I'm kind of shocked Livy didn't want him back. Maybe they did. They probably did, actually. Because they've got Adam Montgomery, and I'd say Robbie Fraser cleared him in terms of left back quality. I think he's a phenomenal player. And then you've got the really interesting signing of Jefferson Caceres as well.
The £1 million man from Sheffield Wednesday. United, sorry.
Yeah. 1 million going to Sheffield United. We don't know how much Dunfermline signed him for, but you'd imagine a bit of money if, Sheffield United wouldn't want to take a complete loss on him.
Well, you're not saying to me off the air that they signed him with AI?
He's a pure AI signing, and obviously someone took a look at him in Sheffield United training and said he's not quite at this level. AI signings, you got thoughts on that?
AI, no. Analytics, I'm all for, as you're aware by now.
AI though, what? You're not doing that.
Just pure AI, no thought. Just
pure AI.
I'm afraid it gets a woke nonsense from me.
Gets a woke nonsense. First one of the episode. But I was watching him play. It does look like he's technically good, as you'd expect for a Peruvian winger that had a $1 million price tag on him. Getting the ball, getting a little nick of it. He had a chance against Rafe as well, which he didn't score, but looked bright. And I reckon there's a player in there, but it just might take a bit of time for him to bed into being a Scottish Championship player.
Oh, totally. I guess he's played in the English. He's at least been exposed to the English game, so it's not like he's coming straight from his homeland to be getting put up in the air by some 6'4" bald guy. But
yeah, exactly.
I just think that you got to get used to the first team environment up in Scottish Championship, very competitive, very physical league, very much based on your kind of toughness as well as your technical ability. So once he finds that balance, there's every reason he can kick on and make the league his personal playground. But for now, he'll have to just settle in and get used to it.
Yeah, and
get used to Fife life.
Get used to
I hear he's a big fan of PJ Malloy's at the weekend.
I will be, yeah. I'm Jefferson Caceres with some £5 Venoms in him. He'll be flying, I'm sure, in a few months, yeah.
Can't say no to a £5 Venom, can we? I'll have a look.
Of course we'll have a look. Yeah, but he does look like he's got something about him. I really do think he does, but it might just take a bit of patience, and that £1 million thing's going to follow him about, like a bad cold. But I reckon there's a player in there. But again, maybe it's good they've got him on a multi-year contract. Every player on here, I'm pretty certain, is on a multi-year contract as well, which feels revolutionary for the Scottish Championship, honestly. But you can see what they're building. Mason Munns came in on goal on loan from Rangers, which I'm thankful about. Rangers doing us a favour, not giving us him in the cooperation agreement, because he didn't look great against Rafe. But I guess they needed a goalkeeper, so it wasn't just Dennis Mehmet, getting himself injured, doing flips and that. Charlie Gilmore's came in, very solid addition, really good player as well. Probably just an upgrade on what they had last season in the middle of the park. A bit older than some of the other signings. As is Alphonse Almade, 25-year-old player they bought in from Bulgaria, and I tell you, this guy, I think he's got something real about Mozambique international, so I think he might be off to the AFCON in the middle of the season, which is quite fun.
That'll not go down well, will it?
Well, I mean, as I say, we'll touch on this in a second, what I think Dunfermline's season might look like, but I think he looks really good as well. I reckon he's going to start for them in midfield all the time as well, because just watching him play as well, I've not seen a huge amount of him just yet, but he looks like someone that's just constantly going to be in the right place to pick up interceptions, but drive forward with the ball as well, not just like a tackling machine in midfield. Like I think I said to you,
an enforcer as well.
But technically, yeah, he's got something that can add in a bit like a much worse championship version, Declan Rice sort of mold of player where
That's a bold shout.
Yeah, well, I said it worse. If you had a championship version of Declan Rice and still had it worse, it might be him. But I say that as a good thing. That's a compliment.
Yeah, totally.
But
Maybe like Declan Super Noodles instead.
Sure, yeah.
That's like the worst analogy ever, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a microwave bag, Teflon brand rice. Yeah,
Out of date.
but that's still not
Own
too.
brand.
That's not too bad a thing to be, because I think he's got something about him, and he'll intercept and pick things up in midfield. Whilst there was just a lot of turnover in the Dunfermline midfield last couple of years. Real solid player. I think he'll hold down position in there, because you've had Ewan Otto in there, you've had Chris Hamilton in there, Joe Chalmers has moved on, Craig Clay I think was there as well last season. There's just a lot of players in that midfield where I think you've really got someone solid in there, and him and Charlie Gilmore's just a quality upgrade sort of on what they had. And as I say, it's a really young team around them, because we mentioned before, I think everyone in there apart from Carl Benedictus was 25 and younger, and Abdullah might come into that back three. I'm not sure. Carl Benedictus is lacks a bit of a ton of pace as well, and I guess he's got two really young players. Chicolo and Mullen struggled in the Fife derby on the right, and Todd on the left. As I say, looks like a really good player. So Carl Benedictus is that sort of level head back there. Good role model as well. Not less said there, the better.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to another popular figure in Kirkcaldy, Zach Rudden.
Yes.
Who actually, to be fair, he's been getting a lot of slander from Rafe Rovers fans. I think he was scapegoated a little bit for Rafe's pretty quietly terrible second half of that season where they tried to win the league, obviously, where performances just weren't really matching up. Zach Rudden came in on loan. He was okay. He didn't set the header alight at all. But what he will do is come into the championship and score goals. He scored in his debut. He's a handful up there. And if he comes in and scores 10 goals for Dunfermline this season, that's a big difference. That is points. 10, 15 goals like he did for Queen's Park last year. That will make a difference. And with such a young squad, they just need goals to make sure there is no risk of getting sucked into things down there. I think Dunfermline would be fine this season. And what I'm really looking at for them, sort of I've been teasing at it this whole time, is next season. I think there'll be a bit more of a force to be reckoned with.
Because they'll have all these new guys off. Had a season or so to kind of bed in, get used to each other, and if you add those 2 or 3 more bits of league winning quality, they'll bring an already pretty decent and settled squad that's kept up to that marker of, we'll be okay, we'll go for playoffs, so we can go for the title. Yeah,
it'll be like adding that quality on next season is what they could possibly do, and this is all speculation here, but I feel like that's the vision with this squad that they've built here, and if Neil Lennon's patient with it. Neil Lennon's maybe not the most patient figure there's always been. So, but if he's invested in it and bringing in, like they wouldn't be spending money to bring in 19, 20, 21-year-olds if they were really desperate just to run away with the title this year. They probably looked at it and said, next year we could be a real force.
I think you've got to look at it like you're making a Sunday roast. So this year they're getting the kind of the meat and potatoes, kind of the quality components there. But next year they'll be getting the final, like the vegetables, the gravy, like the bits that really make it tick on and really make it special. I think that's kind of the approach they're going for here.
Meat and the gravy, right? Did you say the vegetables is one of the best bits?
Roast potatoes.
Okay.
Can't argue with that, can you?
So if Dunfermline add some roast potatoes to their squad.
And some mint ice snus for Neil.
Yes, of course.
For snus Hiddink.
Yes, that's the essentials, of course, to a league-winning squad. But Dunfermline's window, I'll give it a steady B. I don't think there's anything too exciting in there, but I almost think people probably gloss over it a little bit because they didn't make that statement signing. But I don't mind that they've not splashed the money on one championship player, like a
Dylan Easton.
Like a Dylan Easton, yeah, exactly. Is probably the best way to say it, But like, I've seen Air bring like a Dom Thomas or like a Callum Morrison, that ilk of player, one of the best championship wingers you'd probably be able to get. But
see, Morton failed to get him on a deadline day.
Yes, where did you see this transfer?
Online.
On the web.
On a good old interwebs, yes.
Yes, the ever reliable Twitter links. And yes, I don't know honestly, but I think I like their squad in terms of building on for next year and the year after. Robbie Fraser, as I say, like when I saw that one coming, I was like, oh, I'm really starting to see a bit of a vision here. Because, I mean, Robbie Fraser could be a league winning player now already, honestly. But at his age, his profile and just everything around them. Also, Alice Davidson sounds a bit more like a sort of a Tory MP.
Yeah.
Than a Scottish Championship player, 19-year-old in from Celtic. Don't know much about him. But again, just the right sort of frame of player to be signing.
Yeah, just need to get these young guys in, get them used to each other, and their quality will shine through soon enough.
Right, move on to League One.
Let's.
Do you remember our League One club?
No.
Inverness, Caledonia Thistle.
Yes, I do know.
Yes.
Purely because of the Alfie Babbage fan club.
This is the main reason we're talking about this, because we did a League One preview episode. I say check it out if you want. I don't know how well it's aged, because we did that before Hamilton transfer embargoes and
everything else.
There's too much to talk about Hamilton. They'll be here for another hour if we do that alone. But looking through League One, Alloa had a really good start to the season, but Alloa fell to a 1-0 loss against Inverness this weekend. So Liam Sol scored.
Is it too early to call it a title decider?
Yes. Decider is a bit.
Well, it can set a precedent at least. A statement victory, I would call it.
I've got no clue what happened in League One. It's a very fun division, and I think there's
it's just purely based on vibes, I think.
Based on vibes. Yeah, I mean, we really liked Queen of the South's business at the start of the year. Inverness would be top of the table now as well on the true table, on the sort of John ranking table,
Oh, don't start me on that.
You know anything about point deductions, my friend?
Couldn't possibly comment.
We'll speak about that later on.
Still going up.
Still
going up. Saying it right now.
Edinburgh City, of course, you're referring to there.
Yes.
We'll come on to that, I'm sure. But Inverness, just some really smart business. Started it off with, after I said there was a lot of turnaround in the Dunfermline midfield, and it was good they got rid of these guys, I'm now going to speak about these exact same players and why they're good signings for Inverness. So, Joe Chalmers and David Wotherspoon coming in. I think they were both needed out of Dunfermline, but really good signings at Inverness at League One level. They're sort of that quality of player where I think Inverness will spend a lot of their games. And watching, highlight packages. I've not seen them. Well, I actually saw them against Rafe. I won't count that game as they lost 5-0, but 5-1. Sorry, but I think
fantastic scoreline.
It was, but other than that, Inverness have had a very solid start to the season. Scott Callow's a brilliant manager as well. I think he's the perfect match for Inverness. You hear him speak as well. He's a manager that just gets it. It's nice to have a manager like that. I think there's only so many of them that you can get. You can't really replicate that. Like as a Ray fan, I think John McGlynn was a bit like that, where it was like he gets the club, gets what's going on. Scott Calloway gets the club, and I think that's always really important, to the fan base, and it's purely just on performance, and you don't have to question his character or anything like that. He just seems like a really good fit for the football club, especially compared to the fella they had in before, big Dunk.
Ah, yes.
There was a bit of calamity there. So Joe Chalmers and David Wotherspoon, my point was going to be, is I think Inverness will spend a lot of their games camped in the opposition half, basically. And Joe Chalmers will sit there almost like a third centre-back, like a sweeper, David Luiz, but he's a midfielder. But he will sit in that position. He will just knock things side to side. And
Wotherspoon will just chop in and cross it.
He's just got
all day.
He's just got that quality, doesn't he? And all around the squad, they've added good players. I've been impressed with a lot of their signings. Oscar McIntyre's looked solid at left back. We've not seen Ross Millen play at right back either yet, was part of that Rafe team that, when he dropped out of the team, Rafe got a lot worse when they were in that title race against Dundee United. So, a lot of really good signings in there, but it's their loan signings as well as the window's gone on that's really impressive. First, they got Mitchell Robertson, defender from Celtic, on loan. I'd seen play at the Lowland League, really looked like he was capable of that step up. He won't go in and start just yet. They've got Remy Savage and Danny Devine as well, who start at centre-back, but extra quality in there could dislodge them throughout the seasons, if they need them to. Liam Sol scored a really good goal against Alloa. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. Just a quality finish, but the main piece of business was getting the Bav back. Alfie Babbage.
What a player. What else can you say? He's just a fantastic young striking prospect. He's just Mr. Goals.
Yeah, and I think I'd seen him play at Ayr United as well last season, the first half of the year, which is something people probably forget. He was even at Ayr United. It wasn't very memorable. Speaking to Fraser about that as well, obviously our resident Ayr fan on the podcast said Babbage didn't stick out too much, and no fault of his own at times. Just things were just not really quite bouncing for him. Goes to Inverness and he rips
it up, yeah.
Rips League One a new one, honestly. Getting him back was phenomenal because I thought maybe a championship move would be next. I thought even a Rafe might be linked to Alfie Babbage, but I suppose someone at Aberdeen thought, you know what, why take him out of a situation where he's doing so well and he's kicked on when the championship wasn't doing him many favours before. Inverness getting him in, I think that could well be the difference in League One this season. And I wasn't going to touch on Inverness too much because they did their business so early as well, but later on in the window as it went on, I think, Alfie Babbage tips them over, and that's an A window for me.
Absolutely.
They get an A for me. So, yeah, Inverness, Alloa, as I say, Alloa have really impressed me. I wasn't actually too taken aback with their transfer window, what they did. But I think they've got a good manager, Andy Graham. They've started the season brilliantly, so League One could be a bit of a surprise package in there, Alloa. So
Always a very competitive division, League One. I'd go as far to say it's probably the best division in Scottish football to watch every year just for pure entertainment.
People say that about every division.
I don't know, because I always feel like in the Championship and League Two, there's always a team that's going to run away with it.
Usually, yeah.
Whereas League One, it's quite hard to predict.
Yeah, last season's Championship had a lot of parity coming into it. Obviously, Falkirk ran away, but yeah, League One can be unpredictable. I think there's a difference between there's obviously a few full-time teams, a few part-time teams, and I think there's some gaps in between where you can almost look at break them into 3, 3, and 4, in terms of the quality. But yeah, a very entertaining league, and it'll be interesting to see. I think Inverness should have enough, even that points deduction, to be alright, and Hamilton will finish somewhere.
Don't know where that is, but they'll be somewhere.
They'll be somewhere. They'll have hopefully points on the board. Fingers crossed. Come the end of the season. So right, talking about points deductions, then we're going to move on to League Two, and there's only one place you're sat with that shirt. I'm sat with Connor Young behind you on the wall. Well, not actually Connor Young, but his shirt on the wall, signed as well. Didn't actually touch on that one.
Signed the merch one.
It's a lovely little shirt, that one is. Do you want to show the people the front of it as well?
Yeah, certainly will.
I thought we usually do shirt of the week at the start, but we'll do it now because we're obviously on Edinburgh City now. So
There's your shirt.
Did he score in this shot?
He did, yes. A penalty against Bonnyrigg Rose.
Of course, I would say there were probably a lot more shots that he scored in last season than he didn't. So when he was at Edinburgh.
Yeah,
City.
I mean, 18 goals in a 6-month spell. Can't really
Brilliant.
complain at all.
Yeah. Didn't even give him mention when we were talking about Dunfermline either. So
I better stand up. I'm not going to make a fool of myself trying to put this up from a sitting position. So
that is fine.
There we go.
So yeah, lovely little shot there. So Edinburgh City, we're going to touch on them. Just finish on Connor Young though, because what a brilliant season he had last year, and you've got to watch that a lot closer than anyone else. And that move to Dunfermline, he's not quite kicked on. He started up front in the Fife derby, looked a bit isolated up there, and someone that everything he was touching was turning into goals during that spell at Edinburgh City, wasn't he?
Exactly. I mean, I think Connor's the kind of player that if he's the main man, he knows it, and if you can kind of get in his head and be like you are going to be our main forward, he'll give you the goods. He was only there for 6 months, and Michael worked wonders with him, and he earned himself a Championship move, because folks seem to forget that Clyde let Connor go because he didn't really get a chance with him. But at the same time, if you give a player of that quality, I mean, Connor was actually the year below me at high school, funnily enough. He was pro youth at Rangers and Hibs when everybody was kind of growing up, and you could always tell that he was, wand of a left foot. I had to go in goals once in a game. I think it would have been between, at the time, the 5th and the 4th years, because obviously I was 50, he was back in 4th year, and if you got the ball within 30 yards, just forget it. Don't even bother looking at it or diving for it, because it's going to go in the goal, and that's simple as that. That's all you can really say. But Rangers spent money on him to take him from Hibs to Ibrox. Clyde didn't really give him a fair crack of the whip. Obviously, they were a bit of a basket case at the time, but if you give Connor Young a good run of games and, give him that platform to show how good he is, it'll give you the goals. That what he done with City in that 6 months was remarkable, and he more than deserved a Championship move. He was very unlucky when he first went to Pars, because he played a couple of games and broke his ankle, out for a good few months, and folks seem to forget he's still working back from that. But he's just an unbelievably talented footballer. Free kicks, he's just that left foot's just a joke. It's a cheat code, especially at League 2 level. Obviously a bit of a jump up from League 2 to the Championship, which is totally understandable, but he's a young guy. Folk forget how young Connor is. No pun intended. I think that give him time, he'll still have a very good career for himself. He'll carve it away out one way or the other.
Well, Neil Lennon, if you're watching, which hopefully he is, gave a lot of praise to Dunfermline.
I think Neil Lennon does rate Connor very highly.
I was going to say, but get him back.
When his son was at the Bonnyrigg on loan last season, he'd seen a fair few of Connor's games, so I dare say that Lennon's a fan, because he wouldn't start him otherwise.
Hopefully Gallagher called him up and was like, Dad, give this Connor Young.
This boy's unbelievable.
You got to start him. So Neil Lennon, if you're watching, tell Connor Young, get back to your form as a 14-year-old. When he was on fire, Or maybe it's because you're in goal, Aaron. Maybe that's what Neil Lennon needs.
Possibly.
Yeah, so if you can get you in goal for the opposition. Connor Young, 50-goal season coming up. But other than that, just what a player, and hopefully for his sake, he can sort of kick things back on again.
Indeed.
That jump to the Championship is hefty, and the pressures of playing somewhere like Dunfermline, where a big club, of course, where the fans can get on you a bit.
On
as
your
well.
back,
It
yeah.
can be difficult.
It's a bit different to a few hundred folk at Meadowbank on a Saturday.
And you and your phone shouting at him.
I would do no such thing.
There's nothing. No, there was no reason to shout. But anyway, Edinburgh City's recruitment this year, and we're not just doing. I swear down to the people watching this that they've gone for the easy thing again. They've done Hearts. They've done Edinburgh City. Generally, I think Edinburgh City have had a brilliant window as well. Not bought in a huge amount of players, but you guys don't run with a huge squad, so you haven't.
Not at all.
Haven't had to. East Kilbride, as you'd expect, have spent the money, bought in some good players. I like Starling's recruitment as well, which they got done really early too, with like Ross Cunningham coming in, for example. But Edinburgh City just bags of quality. So you've got Robbie Mann, Jack Duncan coming in, Bradley Barrett, Jake Service, Jaden Ferguson, and one of my favourite ones in League Two. I've told you, Malik Zaid. I love watching him play too.
It's just league-winning attacking quality, simple as that. We were going for the league until the obvious happened, and it's been so heartening to see how good the guys have been since we're actually, touch wood for now, we're still unbeaten since that points deduction, and the reaction's been nothing short of extraordinary. It's just a shame that it's not going to be a league-winning team because the obvious circumstances have happened, but you look at players like Robbie, Brad.
You were a man very careful with your words there. I respect that. But
I've got to be.
yeah, no, as you should be.
Like,
but
you look at guys like Robbie, Brad, Malik. It's just these guys are ridiculously good. And obviously, I get to see them up close every week. They get you on the edge of your seat when you're watching, and there's not a lot of players in League Two that can do that.
Yeah.
But these guys have just got attacking quality and abundance.
yeah, I think that's it.
It's a pleasure to watch them every week.
Oh, you just look at it though, and it's like there's just not enough teams like I think of that level in League Two where they just get these like fucking brilliant like number 10 quick diminutive players in the edge of the box that can just make your goal of the season thing like compilation at the end of the year will be nice, I'm sure.
It's already ridiculous. I mean, you've got holding midfielders like Jason Jarvis scoring 25 yarders at Broadwood, and we're barely 2 months into the season properly.
Yeah. So Rory Mann's obviously started the season on fire as well. He's your Carskill, you've been telling me as well.
Yep.
Two goals this weekend. Was the gaffer slightly disappointed with that?
I mean, the gaffer always says that Robbie has a hat-trick in him every game.
I saw that too, yeah.
He certainly does. He's more than good enough to score a hat-trick every game, as we saw. But Briggs, that was actually his first ever senior hat-trick.
About time, you know.
No, it's just, you see these guys and it's a joy to watch in the final third. And
Yeah.
we've turned Jack Duncan from a centre-half into a marauding forward. Like, we can literally do anything at this point.
Don't you worry, Jack Duncan was going to be one of my questions. So Jack Duncan, a player that I've spoke to you about, I'd seen him at the Braves, and I'll be honest, like fully hands up, he's not one I was fully expecting to make that jump up to League Two just at this moment in time. Like I think Jack Duncan's he's capable of it most certainly. But like he was a really solid Lowland League defender, and I thought if Jack Duncan's out of a club, I think half the managers in the Lowland League are getting on the phone and saying, Jack, do you want to come play for us? Mm-hmm. So him getting a move to League Two, I didn't quite see it coming now, and he's came in. Jack Duncan, big, strong, solid centre back, can play a bit of football as well.
6'4".
Can play a bit of but can play a bit of football as well. He's came into Edinburgh City and does he wear number 5?
Yes.
So anyone that doesn't know Jack Duncan, which I'm sure a lot of SPFL fans might not be too familiar with Big Jack's play, seen him come in and said, oh, why have Edinburgh City signed this striker? You know, like a big tall, handsome guy, blonde hair, slicked back. Why is he a striker with number 5 on his back?
Because he's not a striker. He's a centre half.
He's a big centre half, but he's been playing up front all season and he's been looking the part as well.
Yeah, he's scored 2 goals and he always puts himself about. That's what I love about it. Obviously, some encouragement from the gaffer helps to get him sprinting, but if you see a guy of his size running at you, you're gonna be scared a little bit. I think.
Even his movement up there, like I was watching the highlights against Dumbarton, obviously a fantastic result just before you came around as well. I was watching that, and like he was just making little darts across the front post. It just looked like a real natural striker player.
Almost scored that header from the first corner.
That was the one I'm talking about. Yeah, well, it's just like the move. I think that's what I mean. Just the movement and getting on things in that goal he scored against Hamilton was quality as well.
Shearer-esque. Take it to the chest, bang it in the top corner.
Is that me at 5s?
Exactly
He's
like
a pair
year
of yellow
fives.
boots, yeah. But yeah, that's why you compared me to Jack Duncan, of course, earlier on. So
Jaden Ferguson's not really had a chance to establish himself yet because he got a pretty bad ankle injury
Yeah.
during the League Cup away at Queen of the South. He's been out for a wee while. He was back in training on Tuesday night. I think it'll be a few weeks before we see him, but he's been working hard in his rehab up in Dundee. He's choking to get back and get scoring goals, but his injuries given birth to this idea of turning a centre half into a striker, and it's went really, really well.
well, yeah, it's phenomenal, and I'm not sure anyone else would get away with it other than Michael McIndoe. The way he can do it,
The
obviously.
visionary.
Bit of magic from Michael McIndoe. So as well as that, Malik Zaid. You told me. You won't get in trouble for this. I hope you did tell me just before he was announced that he was officially coming back. You told me he was coming back, and I was like, that's exciting because he's a player that can get bums off seats, can't he? Like, and so silky as a player at that level too.
He's just like, it's like watching. I don't know. I don't want to give him Messi comparisons because
Go for it.
That probably sounds a bit absurd of me, but it's the low centre of gravity, the way he just can dart in and out. I mean, the goal we scored against Elgin City away from home. It's just a product of him being told to run, get at defenders, make their lives a misery, and score goals because he's more than good enough. He is. He wasn't in the team the last couple of games. Like it's a little knock, but as soon as he's back in, I'd imagine he'll just get right back to scoring goals of that quality.
I'm loving this injury update you're giving us here whilst we're here too. So but were you like, obviously surprised is the wrong word because I guess you know what's going on at the club, but like certainly happy to see him back, of course. But like there must have been a little bit. I thought a lot of part-time teams would have been in for Malik Zaid if he was making a move to part-time football permanently. And you must be so happy that it's obviously Edinburgh City.
I'm just delighted. I think the gaffers played a huge part in convincing Malik to come back.
Because you think League One teams would have been sniffing.
Yeah, because we had him on loan when we were in League One for 6 months, and then we had him back on loan the second half of last season because he was at Annan on loan for the first half of last season. Barely kicked the ball. We got him back in January, and it was like he never left. Because even in that League One City team that he was in, obviously the club were very unstable at that point, but he showed kind of brief flashes in a very unstable environment that he can make things happen. And last season when things were kind of calmed down a bit more off the park, it never lasts, but when things calmed down a little bit, when he was in that City team for the second half of last year as we were pushing for the playoffs, he really, really came onto a game, and I was like, oh, he's such a good player, but I was thinking we're never going to get him back permanently. And when I found out he was signing again, I was just delighted because he's the sort of player that can win you games with his quality. He's the sort of player that gets you excited. You wake up on a Saturday morning thinking, I get to watch Malik Zaid today. It's just that sort of player. You'll look forward to paying the admission fee to go along and see a player like him just strut his stuff. It's fantastic.
I can imagine you being that meme right now. You wake up in the morning on a Saturday morning next to your missus, not saying anything. She's like, what is he thinking about? Is he thinking about other women? He's thinking about Malik Zaid running at a defender.
I mean, Cara, if you're watching us, I won't deny it.
I can't blame you. I've seen Malik Zaid play close up as well, but he's a number of players in that Edinburgh City team. Like we've not even mentioned Innes Lawson as well. He's like technically just like there's
Innes
so much
Lawson
quality.
has won 4 penalties in the last 4 games. He's a menace.
That's a fact for you. I mean,
menace.
Like how does he get all these players into the team then, McIndoe? Then what's the setup? Because how many diminutive number 10s can you fit into a team? How does he do it? Does he start them all as number 10s?
Tends to be 3.
3 number 10s in one team, effectively.
If you can I don't even know what you would call the formation, but it's like watching the Red Arrows just streaking forward every time we get the ball from deep and we're going up the park. It's just you just see so much attacking quality flying at you. Like, how do you deal with it?
Yeah.
How do teams at this level with their slow, cumbersome defenders deal with like this swashbuckling Edinburgh City team? They don't. The answer is they simply don't have the defensive quality to deal with how good our forwards are, and that's shown in our last couple of results.
Yeah, and I mean, utterly unbelievable. You're doing it all without Terry Darramola as well. He's going to be out for a long time.
Yeah, I think TB won't be back for a wee while, which is a shame because I thought this was going to be the year that he really, really kicked on. I mean, his display at Falkirk away in pre-season was fantastic. Scoring them 2 goals against a Premiership team, friendly or not, it's very encouraging to see. Just unfortunately picked up that injury, but hopefully see him back as soon as possible, really.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, you're talking about like having the red arrows running at you, and you're talking about the quickest player in the lower leagues of Scottish football.
Oh,
perhaps?
TV's rapid. He
Yeah, I think
beat me
that's-
on one leg. He's just, it's scary.
Even with his injuries, he's lapping you. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. I'll just sit down and be like, oh, on you go, mate. On you go, T. Just you do it. I'm not bothered.
Yeah, and as I say, one of my favourite things about it is this attack all being marshalled by a 6'4" defender that was playing centre back for Trinent Cowden Beef last season, I think it was. So
And
utterly
a
brilliant.
priest in Northern Ireland.
Oh, of course as well. Yeah. So anyway, what a team! Watching Edinburgh City play every week, brilliant. No, I mean these are your bosses you're talking about. Do you want to put a grade on the transfer window?
A.
Give it an A. Yeah. So
Generally, don't really have any complaints. I suppose from the outside looking in, people would maybe question the logic in having a bench with mainly youth players, but when you see how good these young guys are, especially in training, it's like they're more than capable of making that step up to the first team and filling in. Callum Brody, Lucas Quinn, like all these guys, like when they come on, it's not that they're coming on as like a token gesture. They're coming on and impacting games. Callum became our youngest ever player this season at the age of 16 years. He's one that's got a big future, I think. All the young guys in the squad, if you're good enough, you're old enough, and if you're showing it in training and they can clearly do it, then they're going to get game time.
and it seems like they're trusted by the manager.
Oh,
That's
totally.
gotta be the main thing.
The manager's never been afraid to chuck in young players. And again, these guys wouldn't be getting chucked on if they weren't good enough to compete and do well. And
Yeah.
they're more than making their mark so far.
Yeah, I think we've touched on all the signings. Jake Sarver's coming in as well. Not seen a huge amount of him starting. Has he been? Or?
He's been in and out.
So I see he's been. Yeah.
He had a wee injury at the start of the season, but
Yeah,
he's
alright.
back in the fold now.
No, I do like Jake Sarver. I think you asked me about him because I'd seen him play a lot at the University of
Yeah.
Stirling. Versatile player
There's
down
a
the
few
left.
ex-Stirling Uni guys in our team. James Stokes,
Yep.
who actually scored the winning goal in a cup final against Edinburgh City for Stirling Uni the day
Oh,
he
did
signed his pre-contract. He genuinely, he basically walked into Medibank, agreed to sign for us, then dropped a 25-yard volley at the top corner because he felt like it.
Gotta respect that.
And I still, every time I see James Stokes, I always say, just so you know, I'm never going to forgive you for that. He was one of our players of the season last year, but the fact that he dunked on us in a cup final the season before that still grates me.
That's like
I wasn't
James-
even at the game. I was stuck at work that night because I couldn't get it off. Like freezing cold night, Medibank lost 1-0 at the cup final to University of Stirling. I checked my phone. I'm like, who's this Stokes boy? Because me and him have issues. A couple of weeks later, oh, we've signed him. Okay.
Well, that's one way to enamor yourself to your new employees. Sounds a bit.
Honestly, but Stokes is a great guy, fantastic player. He's not a new signing, so we've not mentioned him. He's another one of these guys. He just gets running, and he doesn't stop. He never ever stops running.
Well, some headache getting them all into one team, but you found the way, and it's been a great start to the season as well. Really enjoying it, and as I say, University of Stirling was just going to touch on really good way for players to come through. There's been so much quality come, and if managers want to take a chance on these guys, I think they should because a lot of quality there, and they do train like they're athletes as well.
They're full time, aren't they?
Yeah, so they play a lot of games as well. They've got a big pool of players, but those first team guys are seriously good. So I've really been enjoying watching Edinburgh play this year. Edinburgh City play this year.
Thank you.
Sorry. I see your eyes staring
You
at
could
me.
feel all four of them boring into your soul, couldn't you?
Edinburgh City playing, of course. So one more question. Every time we see Edinburgh City play then. So at the minute this is going on and it seems to be making a bit of a star online. And one of my favourite things about being I'd like to say we're friends, Aaron.
I'd say so at
I'd
this
say we're
point.
friends at this point.
I'd say we're good buddies.
Thanks, buddy. About being friends of yours, I'm lucky enough to have you on Snapchat as well. And you put a Snapchat story up every single time of a video that I'll then see later that day on Twitter, winding people up no ends. Wagon wheel. Where did this come from?
It's just sort of been the team's victory song for a while. I mean, even like you're going back a number of years, like there was videos going about of the League One promotion winning team singing Wagon Wheel. It wasn't like a big deal back then. This happened to be a song they played. I think it's just kind of stuck because there's always been Quinn Mitchell's like the only surviving member of that promotion winning team.
Yeah.
But there was a video he posted years ago of the team singing Wagon Wheel. I think they've just sort of kept it going continuously. As whenever the team win, they just sing the song and have a laugh. And it happened to be after the first game against Stranraer. I was in the dressing room with the guys after the game and just kind of spontaneously filmed it because I thought, oh, nice to see the guys have a good reaction to their first win after the points deduction. Stuck it up online and it went like triple platinum. Mainly, there's been a mixture of professional. I mean, Tony Watt's been all over it. The ex-Dumbarton captain.
Was Tony Watt not all over? To be fair.
That's true. You've got the ex-Stranraer captain, not Dumbarton, sorry. You've got Tony Watt. You've got all these guys saying these guys could easily choose to be miserable
Yeah.
about the situation they're in, but They've got their sleeves up. They're getting on with it. They're getting results. They're enjoying the fact that they're winning games despite all this adversity. And it's just good to... I just like to showcase the unity in the squad because it's good for the fans to see. It's good for... It shows that to the rest of Scottish football that we're not going to just sit here and be miserable about the situation we're in. Yeah, minus 15 points. That's minus 5 already. Like, we're not...
6 points off Stranraer already. That's nothing.
We're not content to sit and be... We could easily just be like, feel sorry for ourselves and be like, oh, well, that's that then, lads. No chance. We're just going to get up, get at them and hunt, as the gaffer would say, hunt the teams above us. And also... Wagon Wheel annoys all the right people. Our comment section has been rife with 12-year-olds from Dumbarton at the weekend calling us diving scumbags and all sorts. Don't care. Don't care. If you're getting wound up by it, your team should simply try and beat us.
Yeah, we're all for a wind-up as well. As a Rafe Rovers fan, seeing us post stuff all the time, and it's just full of, 100 comments of being like, no cartoon this weekend, admin. I'm like, just keep it coming. Like, you're so
obsessed
in your head.
is
so
the
in
word.
your head. Like,
Rent-free.
Well done, part of this, or you beat us. But, you're still going to sleep being like, oh, cartoon. Grow up. Like, it's literally a cartoon. Brilliant. And it's a bunch of players singing Wagon Wheel. Like,
Darius Rucker, if you're watching this, we have tagged him into a couple of the posts. Hopefully he gets a Edinburgh City scarf in the post one day, but it's just a good song. There's nothing wrong. I like Wagon Wheel. I think Wagon Wheel's great.
I just think it's a good song at the end of the day. Yeah, I'm loving that content. So is that going to keep coming throughout the season?
Absolutely.
Keep it coming. Yep, love to see it, and hopefully Edinburgh City recording plenty of wins as such an exciting team to play. And I remember I did tell you, you might have seen it, but I hope you've seen it by now. We spoke to Craig Telfer as well, and he did his Mount Rushmore of SPFL, and he put Eli's McIndoe.
Oh, he's totally McIndoe pilled.
Yeah.
Telfer was at our Player of the Year awards
Yeah.
back in summer, and he was genuinely starstruck because I got to meet the gaffer.
Love that.
Fantastic evening that was.
So,
From what I can remember, it was a great evening.
Keep the wagon wheel up. Your little speech there about not backing down made me want to run for a brick wall. So sure the squad, hopefully they're listening in as well.
Yeah,
They're getting that boost from
I
it.
dare say there'll be a few of the guys tuning into this.
I love that. Well, honestly, couldn't praise Edinburgh City anymore. So
Correct.
yep, you've given them an A for their transfer window, and I think that probably wraps up this segment of the podcast quite nicely.
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right. Well, we've got a few challenges for you. You ready for that?
Let's go.
Right, we're back. Extra time, as we call it around here. Challenge time, as we used to call it. So, Aaron, I've got a few challenges for you. Well, I've got one challenge for you, and we'll do the rest together.
Yeah.
But you ready for this first one? It's going to test your trivia skills a little bit.
Okay.
This one's topical. We've spoken about a few guys on here, so I'm hopeful you can do well. It's a little bit difficult, but I reckon you've got it in you. Okay? So, can you name the top 8 record transfers in SPFL history outside of the old firm?
Outside of the old firm. Oof.
Yes, because the old firms were like the top 100.
Yeah.
So this is SPFL era.
Okay.
2013 onwards.
Oh,
That makes
okay.
it. But I'm sort of doing you a favour here, as there's a lot of random names in the 90s and stuff that Hibs and Aberdeen signed and that I've never even heard of. So when they were splashing the cash. So this is all a bit more recent.
SPFL era, you say. Top 10.
Top 8.
8. So there's no old firm clubs involved in this.
We're doing it outside the old firm.
Right. I'm struggling already. I'm struggling.
I mean, you just got to think about record transfers for some clubs. It's quite an easy start.
Oh, like sales, you mean?
No, transfers, players that they bought in.
Right.
Clubs outside the old firm. Biggest signings.
My mind's actually went blank, but
Oh,
can't
you
even
can do
think.
it. We had a full conversation about one of these guys earlier on.
Not helping.
It should be. I mean, I don't even want to give you hints because you'll be like, oh, why am I not thinking about these guys?
Yeah. Leighton Clarkson.
No, he doesn't. He's not in there. I couldn't find his transfer fee, but I can double check that one for you afterwards.
Signings. Cleege for Hibs.
Yep, Cleege is number 2 on the list. £1 million. So one of two, signings over £1 million on this list.
Ague for Hearts.
There you go. I don't know why that took so long.
I know, man. I know.
Ague, number 1 on the list. A reported 1.7 million.
Mhm.
Is that? I don't know if you know the ins of that or.
No
Reported £1.7 million. Right. Surprisingly, that's the only Hearts player on this list.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, not surprised when our Booker transfer record says in 6.
Yeah, but I still thought you'd maybe be in the top 8 elsewhere, but one Hart signing, and it's the most recent one. So Thibaut Clige he's now the Hibs record signing as well. So the rest, are Hibs and Aberdeen players.
Hibs and Aberdeen players.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Latipi?
No.
No.
Going back to our now.
SPFL era, right enough.
Yeah.
Since 2013.
Mm-hmm.
2013. So they're all Hibs and Aberdeen players.
They're all Hibs and Aberdeen players. That's your
Rogue.
relatively obvious hint.
Hibs and Aberdeen.
Most of them are still at their clubs.
Wojciechowski?
No, Miofsky just misses out on the list. £535,000 they bought him in for, which doesn't quite crack this list. It's like 50k off.
Okay.
Now, difficult thing about putting this list together is a lot of clubs put them out as undisclosed. So this is finding the reported fees for a lot of these players, but
yeah.
it seems like a pretty solid top 8.
Hibs player. What about the new boy Chiba?
Chiwa, yeah, very good shout. Miguel Chiwa, 700k he cost Hibs, so he's comfortably on the list.
Right.
Good shout. Hibs had another 700k signing a couple of years ago. Didn't go very well.
Oh, striker Dylan Vente.
Dylan Vente, 700k as well. So one more Hibs player on it, then the rest is Aberdeen.
One more Hibs player. Trying to think of boys that have come in.
I didn't know this was his transfer fee until researching this, and it's very much reported. Like, I don't know how accurate this is, but it was reported as being this. I'm putting it on the list. He's the lowest transfer on this is the last Hibs player.
Kieran Bowie.
600k. Right, you've got 3 foreign imports at Aberdeen to come up next.
And they're all still there.
2 of them are.
2 of them. Rubizic? He's long gone, isn't he?
No, he's not on the list.
I think I've said his name wrong. Cut that out. Foreign imports to Aberdeen. Still there. This will kill me because I'll know them as soon as you say them.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, one of them was the second most expensive one on here was an absolute flop, and he was about 5 years ago. And I remember him coming in for quite a big price, and you're like, why are they spending that much money on him? And I mean, I never heard of him, but he didn't turn out to be good at all. And he went off to America.
Oh, Christian Ramirez.
No, good shout. Not him. No, not him. Similar era. Pretty sure.
And this is
Very forgettable. Very forgettable player.
clearly.
That makes it difficult. I'll give you a hint because I wouldn't have got him unless as soon as I saw his name, I was, oh yeah, I remember him. He was a right back.
A right back. Genuinely cannot think.
I'm going to give you this one. It's Ronald Hernandez. 800k they spent on a right back.
I don't even. He's not a real person. He doesn't exist.
Well, they actually recouped a fair bit of money for him when he went off to Atlanta afterwards. So fair play to Aberdeen. But right up next, you've got 2 Aberdeen players current. One of them signed in January this year, and the other one signed in the summer 2024.
Signed in the January this year.
Didn't play a huge amount. Defender. Came on in the cup final.
It's foreign, isn't it?
Captains his national team. Which is information to me as of this morning.
I've went blank. I can't think.
Christos Tobes. 700k they spent on the Latvia captain
Okay.
in January. And the other one, I think he's a bit more gettable. He's a Scandinavian attacker. Which I've just spoon-fed it to you, in a way.
Scandinavian attacker.
You would probably know the name. He might just slip out of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
He is the 3rd biggest transfer since the start of the SPFL.
Scandinavian attacker. This is going to really annoy me. But what's his name?
Toby Keskinen. Keskinen, yeah.
Long hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
£860,000 spent on Keskinen. That was a solid effort.
I'm not very happy with myself.
The initial mind blank in that one, I feel like I caught you off guard a little bit, the question at first, but you've done all right in the end. Pulled it in.
Definitely a C-.
C- on that one. We'll have a grade in that. Right. Well, a solid effort. We'll see how that comes out on the TikTok. Right, do you want to move on to the next challenge?
Yeah, go on.
Well, this is going to be both of us here. So we're going to name a letter, and whoever can say a player of those initials first in the SPFL wins.
First two.
We'll do it to 5? Unless it's terrible, and we'll switch to 3.
Okay.
If we have 20 minutes.
Let's have it then.
Right, do you know some letters?
Let's think.
You know some. There's 26 of them to choose from. Right.
Thanks. CG.
No, you name one, I'll name the other one.
Oh.
Right. You can't think. You
Cut,
can't give
cut,
both
cut,
because
cut,
you're just planning it
Yeah,
out in your
okay.
head.
So, A.
T.
Alan Troughton.
Great
Yes!
pull. Great pull from you. Right. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, C. You can't think about it. You need to say it immediately.
Okay, well, we'll go.
Okay, you got a letter?
Yep.
All right, G.
A.
Graham Alexander.
I was going
Not
to say,
cur-
can we count managers?
No,
Nah.
it's got to be current SPFL players. I don't know why I said that. I
Um,
just wanted to say something.
Yeah. GA.
GA.
Watch this be the one combo that doesn't actually exist. I've been sat here for ages looking like idiots.
The Gorgie Ultras.
Hmm?
The Gorgie Ultras, the GA.
Get it.
GA. Oh. I'll have a sip of my tea whilst I think.
I'm so excited today.
You just copied me.
GA.
It's Graham Alexander, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah, but he's not even in
No, he's not.
Scottish football anymore.
No.
New combo?
We'll go for a new one,
Yeah.
right? I'll start again then. Right.
Yep.
You got a letter?
Yeah.
Ready? H.
T.
This is why I said it might need to be fast to 3.
Yeah. HT.
You came up with Alan Troughton so quickly as well. It was impressive.
Yeah. Luck of the draw, I think.
Oh my goodness.
It's about a lot of editing.
You getting one for that?
I can't think.
Oh,
New
that's
combo.
gonna annoy me, right?
Right.
Alright, we'll go again. You ready?
Yeah.
D.
E. Dylan Easton.
Too
Cheap
easy.
shot. Cheap shot, I know.
Paul, right. Dylan Easton, good shout. Right, you're up first this time.
E.
S.
Esther Sockler.
Yeah, this is your game apparently. 3-0 up.
Must be.
Right, I'll get a comeback here. Don't worry. Right, right. Well, you ready to go again?
Yep.
Right. R.
B.
Rocky Bashiri.
Yes.
On Rocky.
No.
Your man, save me again. Right, 3-1. Right, you're up first this time. Let me think of a letter. I'm running out.
A.
I didn't have a letter yet. Ah. Right, you go again.
A.
A.
Aaron Arnott.
Aaron Arnott, yeah.
But is it SPFL or...
He is SPFL.
Is he? Oh.
He plays for Kelty.
Yes.
4-1 to you, right. Gonna need some comeback here. Right, ready?
Yes.
B.
A. Brad Allen.
Who?
I don't know. That's not my name. Doesn't even
It's
exist.
just not a person, is it?
Cut.
Oh, BA. British Airways.
Because saying BV would have been cheating. Because Bradley Barrett straight away.
Yeah.
Thought I'd go easy on you. Scratch it.
Nah, I'm trying to think. There's got to be a BA.
There will be somewhere.
There's got to be a few. Bob Allen somewhere or something.
Aye, probably.
But no, we'll move on to another one
Scratch
then. So, right, I'm up first, aren't I? S.
C.
Sean Crichton, nice manager.
I can't say Sean Coyle is a goalkeeping coach.
That's good. People
Doesn't
will be
count.
screaming at the screens or something.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
that'll be ridiculous. It'll be obvious. Is it present?
Yeah. You set the rules when we did come into this.
Can't say Sam Cosgrove.
True, yeah.
Scratch it.
We'll move on again, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I will say the letter F.
P. Finlay Pollock.
Right, you didn't think of that before you said it, did you?
No.
You promise?
What?
You didn't think of that before you said it? The name before the letter?
Genuinely,
That
no.
was too quick. Okay, I'll give it 5-1 win. Okay.
Fantastic score.
Moving on quickly from that. So, rounds out another episode of Joga Bonito. We've done it. Got all the way to the end.
With just caffeine and vibes.
Caffeine and vibes, that's all you need. Multiple cups of tea. 3 cups of tea, is it? Got 3 here today?
Yeah, I'd say it was 3.
Plenty. So we've been flying through this. So Aaron, a lot to look forward to. Scotland games. People might know the result, the first one already by this time, but we're looking forward to that game on Friday night. So, other than that, it's been another good episode and another good week of Scottish football.
Cheers for having me on. Hopefully I'll be back on again before long. Hopefully see a bit more of my face around here if time allows.
I certainly love that. We love having your face around here, and obviously thanks for tracking through to Starling for this episode.
Anytime.
Much appreciated. Anyway, so have you got some final words for the people?
Thanks for watching.
Wow,
And
that's really life changing. Final
and
thought
we'll see you very soon. We're off to do some media work.
I have to do some media work. In the words of Luke Maguire, and I think Spencer FC before him,
Don't go changing.